Hello, Carla and Serena and Diane and my family, my friends, and any strangers who happen to stumble upon this weird little quirky video. Tonight I'm making corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, and carrots. And I'm going to show you how I do it. It's easy to do. Takes a while because corned beef takes a long time to cook, but it is incredibly delicious. Few extra spices added in, but it's fantastic, and here's how we're going to do it. Alright, getting started with the corned beef dinner, we're going to need, obviously, corned beef. Corned beefs come in two different shapes, basically. There are some that are flat on both ends. There's some that are pointed on one end. I like the one that's flat on both ends. That's a personal preference, because when I slice it and eat it, I like nice big slices on it. I also go for the biggest, try and find the biggest corned beef I can find, even though it's going to cost more money. It's worth it because I love this stuff. Also, if you look at the sides, I tried, some of these will have a big vein of fat that runs right through the middle. Try to avoid that. I try and find ones that don't have that big vein of fat. There is a layer of fat on the top side. It's supposed to be there. That's fine. But try to avoid ones that have a big layer of, or vein of fat running through the middle. So this is 3.5 pound corned beef. You're going to need a couple of cloves of garlic to go with the brine. Also in the brine, I'm going to put some allspice berries, a few whole peppercorns, some vinegar, and add it into the brine. And I like to add some hot sauce to mine. If you don't like hot sauce, leave it out. That's fine. I'll forgive you. And then later on, we're going to add, once that cooks, some baby potatoes, some carrots that I will peel and cut up into smaller sections, and a cabbage that I will cut up into wedges. So we're going to get started. So when we, first of all, put the corned beef into the pot, we're going to cut this open. All the red stuff you see in here in the package, that goes in the pot with the corned beef. That's fine. There's also a seasoning package under here. Cut that open, sprinkle that in there, and then we're going to add water. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright, I've got the corned beef and the juices that came with it in the pot, and you'll see I've got the fat side up. Remember I told you there's a layer of fat that goes fat side up. The packet of seasoning I sprinkled on top. Next thing we're going to do is add lots of water to this. Just pour that over the top. Add another one. The reason we need the extra water is because when we cook the veggies and all that in this same brine later on, once this is done cooking here, we're going to need all that liquid for cooking the cabbage and the carrots and potatoes and so on. So that's probably good right there. Alright, so that's 2 pitchers full of water. Don't ask me how much water that is. It's a lot. Alright, so the garlic, I'm just going to roughly chop this up. You're not actually going to eat the garlic. When you eat this, it's just being added for flavor. The same with like the allspice berries and the peppercorns. You're not actually going to eat those when you eat the corned beef. They're just put in here for flavor. So I'm just cutting the garlic up into some chunks. Make my fingers smell lovely. And they don't have to be pretty. Alright, that's 2 cloves of garlic. The allspice berries, I'm going to add, a good handful there. I like the aroma the allspice berries give to meats. It's really nice. Also, some peppercorns. A handful of whole black peppercorns. Sprinkle in there. I'm going to add some vinegar. The reason I add vinegar actually is because Julia Child did it, and if it's good enough for Julia Child, it's good enough for me. So I'm just using some apple cider vinegar. You can actually use distilled vinegar in that. It'll be fine. then I'm going to layer on some hot sauce in here. Again, optional. If you don't like heat to yours, that's fine. Leave it out. But I do put it in my brine just to add some seasoning to it. It'll add seasoning to the vegetables also. Alright, we'll start with that. Alright, this is going to go on the stove on high to bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat down to a low boil, and it needs to cook at a low boil for at least 1 hour per pound of meat. This is a 3.5 pound corned beef. So doing the math, that's yeah, 3.5 hours at least, maybe more. After 3.5 hours, we're going to test it with a fork and see if it's tender. If it's not fork tender, cook it some more. So we're going to put this on the stove, let it cook down, and after that cooks for several hours, we'll be back for the next section. Okay, about 3/4 of the way through cooking the corned beef, and yeah, shrinkage happens, so just so you know. I'm going to put the potatoes in because they will take a while to cook. Put those in, and then carrots also, because they're very thick and woody, so they will take a while to cook. Put those in. The cabbage will go in last because it will take the least amount of time to cook. Ow! Hot water. Yeah. Okay, cool. Boing! There we go. Okay. So, put those in. Carrots and cabbage. Oh! Hot lid too. Lovely. Okay. Those are going to cook for about another hour or so. Then we'll put the cabbage in, and then we'll be done. Okay, so get the cabbage ready. I'm going to take the big cabbage, I cut the little tip off, remove the outer leaves, and I'm going to start off by cutting it in half, hopefully without cutting my fingers, because I'm prone to do that. Here. Yeah. Okay. The blood so far, so I'm doing good. Alright. In halves, and then into wedges. Trying to keep part of the core intact with the wedges so the cabbage leaves will stay together, so you don't have the cabbage leaves just running randomly like that. So you see I have part of the core still intact there with the cabbage intact, so I'm just going to do this with the rest. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably about 6 pieces. That. Oh, maybe 8 pieces. Okay. My math is not real good today. Alright, so there's that. And cut those in half. And again, so that the core is still there, so they're all attached and don't fall apart on me. That's one. Cut this in half. No blood yet, I'm amazed. Okay, and then this one. Like that. Okay. Yay. The blood. Alright, gonna add this into the mixture, and that's gonna cook for about an hour. till it gets soft. The carrots and potatoes are already in, and then we'll be ready to serve it up. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's done. The corned beef was so tender that it took several forks to get it out. And if it falls apart like that, you know it's done. It's awesome. The potatoes are done, the carrots are done, the cabbage is done. It's perfect. So this is a perfect Irish meal. Actually, not an Irish meal, but a perfect corned beef meal. And let me tell you a little bit about the Irish history or non-Irish history of this meal. So the fact is, a lot of people think corned beef like this is actually an Irish dish. It's not. The Irish did make what they called a corned beef, but corned simply means, in old English terms, preserved with salt. And corned beef was beef that was preserved with large kernels of salt that were called corns. The corned beef we eat today is not Irish corned beef. It's quite different. The only thing Irish corned beef was beef preserved in salt. That was it. It was not until the Irish immigrated to America during the Great Potato Famine that they discovered this wonderful thing called a Jewish deli and Jewish butchers. And the Jewish had a very similar method of preserving beef, except they added extra spices, and that's what we see now today as our corned beef. So the corned beef we today is not Irish, it's actually Jewish. So that's where that comes from. And now, once I carve this up and eat some for myself, I've got to cover this up because my sweet little dog, Pauline, where's my wonder dog? Yeah, she's coming now. Okay, come over here. Come over here. Come here. Show your face. Show your face. Show your evil face. See this dog? Come here. Yeah. Come here. Corned beef. Corned beef. This dog, I have learned, loves this dish. Except, last time I made it, she helped herself to what I had on the counter. But it wasn't the corned beef she went after. It was the cabbage and potatoes and carrots that she dragged down from the platter onto the floor to eat. So, yeah. Innocent face. Guilty dog. Anyway, Carla. This is easy to make. You and Carla Izzy will enjoy this. It's easy to make. You can do this. Very tasty. And you can do this. It's easy. It's quick. No, not quick, but it takes hours. But it's simple. Not a lot of stuff to do. Just the basic ingredients of the cabbage, the carrots, the potatoes, the corned beef, a few spices, and all that. And you're done. And it's a wonderful meal. I myself will make a pig of myself from this. It is embarrassing how much of this I'll eat. The corned beef that I ate, or that I made today, that much corned beef will be gone in 2 days because I will eat it all in 2 days by myself with no help. So there you go. Corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, carrots, all there for you. It's a wonderful meal. And I hope you like it. And God, I hope you make it because it's wonderful.